Hello friends and welcome back to another Atlantica video. Yeah, the next few Atlantica videos you will see is me working on the dock ride. Today we are working on pretty much the facade, like the entrance towards the dock ride, which is going to be like this sort of palace sort of vibe that has like this majestic feeling to it. And then when you go inside, we're going to do some crazy interior, some aquariums, some crazy stuff underneath the ground. It's gonna be amazing, guys, but this is not for this episode. Today we're focusing on the front, like the entrance of our Lost Paradise dock ride, which you guys will see very soon. There will come a video. I am working very hard to get every videos done before I travel, guys, so you will have some stuff to watch. But this was on stream. I built this guy as well. And I was really grooving on this guy here. I had a few ideas, I had a few visions on how I kind of saw this, and I went in and I used Moomin's old, how do you say, not dock ride layout, but his box, like where he has all his dock ride things. I used that too because I felt like it was kind of a good location for it. And as I've said before, I didn't want to delete so many things, so I eventually just felt everything was so overwhelming that I just eventually would give up. So I kind of like kept some of his things to keep the process easier for me to handle, and then it's kind of like why I decided to do this. So now when you guys know this, I had a few reference pictures. It was like just 4 or 5 different kind of palaces that kind of like had this sort of Moorish, like this sort of super cool vibe and architecture. So I went in and I was like, all right, what can we do here to make it stand out a bit more than the other builds that we just did? So the other builds are more like this sort of, I guess you could say, kind of like cartoony-ish kind of vibe, at least some of them, because they have like this sort of architecture that could work for that stuff. And so this guy here will be more majestic, as I say, more generic build in that sense of having a more of a fantasy-esque sort of Moorish build here. I'm using tons of new pieces that I've not really like felt were necessary to me before. But this part, guys, I'm telling you, I have been using so many different new pieces that I really haven't thought about using before. And it's funny how that works, that you kind of like feel you're somewhat in a need or like forced in a way to use different pieces because you have a piece count, and just to make things look a little bit different. Like, I'm also personally tired of using the same pieces, and when I do that, it eventually ends up looking a lot of the same. So also using a new more pieces and like texture wise and all that stuff, it really does a difference. So that's also what I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm using these sort of Queen Dynasty pieces at the bottom that has these columns already. And then on the top here, I'm using this sort of, I guess it's a Queen Dynasty canopy with some ThemeMaker Toolkit roofs. And then I'm using, of course, the plaster piece here, which is just freaking game changer if you ask me. So it has gonna have a little overhang here. Like, I feel like this was kind of cool. Which is just gonna be like open windows. We're gonna maybe put in some curtains, some lighting and stuff, and that's pretty much it. It's just gonna be like a little extra addition to the build here, as you know, right? And then afterwards here we're adding some trim pieces as well, and then we're adding some supports, and then we slowly getting to add more and more detail to this guy here. My first goal was to kind of like to just get him finished, so I kind of like had a layout, like a vibe on how I wanted to do this sort of build here. And people in the chat that day were also very supportive. They really like this, and they have just been a good support through this entire park here. I gotta say, they have been showing me a lot of enthusiasm, and also like that this is a park that I haven't done this sort of park before. I mean, Galatea is very close to Atlantica. Where here we have mainly 3 bluish colors, where it's more waterish, and Galatea has that more of a Moorish architecture, which has a lot of more domes and spires, a lot more pieces as well. But it's nice to have like something like this as well that are way different from what I usually do, like Blueport, Blackmire, Grimskate, all those things. So it really nice, and it has also been what I think have been my go-to through this entire project here. Like, I've been so excited for this project. It's kind of funny. It get a spark going on again, you know, and that's what I like about this park. It made me want to play Planet Coaster literally almost all day because it was so exciting to build this project. And that's what I love about these games. Like, when you really hit that, there's no turning back, you know. Like, it's just nice. I really like that. But as you can see here, I made these small 2 windows at the entrance here, which I first had a thought about adding something inside, but then I started adding a few things, and I was like, you know what, nah, it doesn't really look good. So what I end up doing is that I end up adding those little gem column supports that you saw me build last video. I'm gonna add those inside, so they give like this little sort of bluish glowiness in when you look through the stained glass windows where I use the gems. So it's gonna be this build already, guys. As you can see here, we're starting to use some ThemeMaker Toolkit pieces. Whoever made these, you are a champ. Thank you. And then afterwards here, we're just trying to add a few more things to the roof here. I actually tried to use the Christmas baubles to make like this sort of nice decorating piece on the top here, which actually turned out incredibly well. And I think I completely forgot that these was a thing and you could actually use them to this sort of decoration. I saw people do that way back in the Planko time where we only had these sort of pieces here. Especially Silverhead, he was a big fan of using these for top spires and domes and all that stuff, I remember. But I've not seen a lot of people do it anymore, so I feel like let's try to get that back and use some of these baubles for a little bit more decorations that what they actually are intended to. So yeah, as you can see, adding lots of decorations here. I was really in the groove on stream, as I told you guys, and I was feeling this entire build here, and I already had like through a few ideas on how to do the station for the B&M invert, right? And then it just everything just gonna be so cool when it's finished, guys. As I told you, it's already finished, so you guys will get the workshop very soon. It also depending on whenever Movement gets to spotlight this park for the contest. But besides that, we are literally just making this building pop up. As you can see, we're adding lots of deco, lots of pieces here and there, a lot of spires, and that's what really makes a building stand out. That is all these unique touches that you give it, right? So I feel like, okay, so if we have a transitioning, like a little section here that goes towards the B&M coaster, so they kind of like are forced to go under here, and I feel like that was a cool kind of like interaction for the guest and for kind of like putting both areas together. So I'm doing here is that I'm building a little extra building, putting in a shop, and then afterwards I kind of like closing in this little area so it becomes a little bit of a square. Also when we have the flat right on the left, and we have the swan, which is the sacred place that we can't touch. So as you can see, this area is really starting to look alive now, and especially when you get to see the cinematics here. Because as I say, a lot of this is pretty much done, so what you get is the final result for the cinematics, but you'll just end up seeing how it all started and how I got to this part of the park. Using some shade here, and then I'm using the scarecrow sticks, which are just so freaking underrated too. And then we're kind of like just roping it up, and then afterwards we're adding some doors, and then we're trying to make this little transitioning path here, this little bridgeway, a little bit prettier with some plants and a little bit of decorations. As you can see here, we're not holding back today, because I really felt like I needed to make this pop up. This is the dog ride, so I wanted a station, a build that was like, I need to go in here. This looks too freaking exciting, and I feel like we kind of did that with the dog ride. I also made a custom sign for it, which you also will see in the cinematics. All these things here. So and also nighttime lighting. But what I'm very excited for, guys, is when you get to see the interior of the queue and the station. A lot of you already knows it, but as I told you this is probably one of my best stations interacting with the queue and the whole like station where you actually go on the ride. This entire transition, this entire path here from when you enter, go through the kind of like foyer lobby towards the queue into the station, it is probably some of my best work. So I can't wait to show you guys that, and that will hopefully be dropped here on my channel very, very soon, guys, with the whole POV of all the rides as well. You'll get the coaster, the river rapids, and the dog ride here. I'm not sure about the go-karts. If you want a go-kart POV, sure, let me know down below, but otherwise I'll just skip that one, and then you'll get a nice cinematic video of Atlantica. Hopefully when I get back home, because I won't have time to do that here. So yeah, but hopefully when I get home, we're also done with Atlantica pretty much on YouTube here. So you guys have seen the whole series, and maybe even have had your hands on the park yourself, you know. So, but yeah, it's these episodes are kind of like a nice length, guys. They're pretty short because I kind of like put them in 8-9 times speed. And streams are usually 3 to 4 hours, and then I try to like cut out what is most important, and when I move the camera around, we don't need that. So yeah, here I duplicated the windows from the other builds and kind of like added a different type of stained glass in it to get it a little bit more of a dope feeling to it. I really, really like that. And then inside here, we're just adding a shop. I wanted to make this building interactive. I just felt like we need something inside this box here. So I added the shop, as you can see, just to get some more guests and just some more interaction and stuff over here. So the shop is not used so much, but it's there, and people go in there once in a while, and it just gives a nice interaction to see people going in and out. Here we go back to me placing down the gems I did inside the stained glass, and it actually gives such a cool feeling at night. I'm really, really happy for it. Now we are sort of done with the entire build here. So now we come to the fun part, the detailing part, where we have to like put decals, put a little bit of vines, some clutter. We have to make this building look alive, you know, like someone is actually living in it, or it's getting used for stuff. So yeah, this is a big change for the whole build here now, when we get to add all these minor details. And I gotta say too, like just using these Quint Dynasty pieces with the stucco ones is a whole new world for me, to be honest. Like, just it's very interesting to see when you figure out a way to mix new pieces together and stuff, like how good it actually just mingle well, you know. I'm super fan of that. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this speed build video sorry, of me building this entrance towards our dog ride. I can't wait to show you next time, when we're gonna be focusing on kind of like the foyer and the entrance, more before the queue, where we're gonna do some aquariums and a little bit of neon, and it's gonna look super dope, guys. Probably one of the best things I've made for a while, as I said. So yeah, really excited to show you guys that, and also let me hear what you guys think of this build for now. Do you like it? And what do you want to see in a dog ride that has like this sort of short amount of play on, like maybe 2 minutes? I've already made it, but I'm curious to know like what you guys would do, because I have like 4 scenes in there. It's not a lot, but it works, right? So yeah, let me know, guys, and leave a like and a comment. We love that. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think of the next videos of Atlantica. At that time, I will most likely be chilling at a pool somewhere. But don't mind that. I'll just be living life, guys. Living life. No. Nevertheless, take care, guys. Have a great day, and give the video a like if you think it deserves it. Join the Discord if you want to be part of something great. We just started our duo contest, which is awesome. And if not, then just take care, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, homies. Bye-bye.